Hey, Conrad, did you know that I'm really smart?
Oh, yeah? How smart, Jono?
Ask me literally anything. Literally anything.
All right, then. What color is red?
Red.
How many dinosaurs are left?
0.
Are angels real?
Of course they're real. That's stupider than asking what color red is.
Wait, what color is red?
I keep telling you, no one knows. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to Film Fights. I am your fearless host, Jono Rodriguez. And with me, of course, is my angelic... wait, let me do that again. Angelic... wait, third time's charm. Angelic... Conrad Hartman, co-host. Thank you very much. How are you doing, Conrad?
Hey, wow, you are a real phenom. And on.
I really am. I cannot figure out what to do after that moment when I introduce you.
Well, that's okay, because after you introduce me, there's only one thing to do.
Let you take over and talk?
Let me take over and talk. That's right. That's right. Very excited this week.
Oh, yes. We've got, it's Travolta 1996.
Also, we do something on this show. Do you want to know what it is?
Not really.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
just in case anyone
the
else,
lovely spectators might.
In case this is anyone's first time. Hey, welcome.
Yeah, thanks.
What's your favorite fruit?
Yeah, tell us. Is it
and
strawberry?
why is it bananas?
Oh, interesting. You said bananas. I said strawberries, and you know what that means?
Delicious.
Daiquiri time.
Ooh, baby.
Ooh, baby.
Well, I'm going to need a few daiquiris to get through this show. Today, okay, so here on Film Fights.
Oh my God, do you have Jono-itis all of a sudden?
Here on Film Fights, we pick two movies. We pit them against one another in a brutal grudge match, with one coming out on top to reign supreme. And this week, it's a 1996 Travolta kind of week, because we picked two movies from 1996 that star John Travolta this week.
Yeah, can you believe it? He was in 2 movies, guys.
He was in 3, but we're only going to be talking about 2 this week. And that's, of course, Phenomenon.
And on.
The classic Muppets movie. Versus Michael.
Yeah, and let me tell you, Googling either of these on their own it can be quite difficult. You have to be very specific.
You'll take more of a journey than our characters took when they find themselves in these movies, if you look up those without the word movie.
Well, they didn't find themselves in the movie. They were in it.
They were lost, and then they were dead.
Lost and dead. I mean, the only movie in which the characters are really looking for themselves is the hit movie Searching for Bobby Fischer. Spoiler, he's not even in it.
Wait, spoiler alert, so he's like Carmen Sandiego. He's like real slippery. They keep finding clues like, if you're in the bar where queens take pawns, you'll find the next clue on the front lawn or whatever.
No, this wasn't Catch Me If You Can.
Also, did Carmen Sandiego do that?
Yeah. Carmen Sandiego was quite the slippery slough.
But she left clues. She's like, man, this is going to take forever if I don't give them a little hint.
Yeah, she has to spell it out for them, really. Yeah. Because can you imagine she's holed up in a locker in an airport in Germany, and she's just looking at her watch why have they not looked at the next clue yet? Jeez Louise.
I made a whole rhyme about it and everything.
And then, cut to 20 years later, somebody opens that locker, it's just a skeleton. A comical, just a white, clean skeleton.
Yeah, sun bleached somehow, even though it's in a locker.
Carmen Sandiego, she was hot, falling off the bone. Anyway, so yeah, we did Travolta 1996 movies.
That's right.
I mean, we didn't do 6 movies. Sorry, it was not 1990 movies. 6 of them.
We also didn't do 1990 movies.
No, we did not. No, not yet. Maybe. Maybe if you guys
with your support,
with your support, anything could happen. We pit 1990 movies together, and only
6.
one can reign supreme.
Shall we just dive right in?
Wait, did you say what movies they were?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, we talked about Googling them. So that's how dyslexia works sometimes, guys. Sometimes it like pushes knowledge that just happened out of your head. It mixes it up with other knowledge that just happened also.
Yeah, Jono sometimes confuses dyslexia with alcoholism. It's part of his dyslexia.
It is.
Yeah.
It's a super rare find. I'm like Pokemon Diamond, whatever it's called.
Wow. I didn't know there were gems in Pokemon.
It's like a Sonic thing. You know, they're emeralds that you get and you become super Pokemon.
Phenomenon. It's with psychic Pokemons.
Yeah, it's phenomenonsters. So, let's just get started.
Yeah.
We got a lot to talk about.
Oh, boy. Yeah,
I mean, not really,
right.
but,
No, we do.
So, phenomenon. Or yes.
Ooh.
See what I did? That was very clever.
Yeah, John Travolta's a big dope in a small town full of other dopes, and he wants to go out with this lady dope. But to him, he's a persona phenomena non grata.
Hey,
that was a real stretch.
Yeah, I think you just made everyone forget everything all at once. No, that movie is great. I'll never forget it. No, phenomenon. I think when you say dope, I think you mean everyman. Because he is just a regular. He's just like you and me.
Yeah, that's what we sound like, too.
Yeah, and he's just trying to be a mechanic, and he's trying to grow corn in his front yard. His tiny little, 5x5 yard.
Hang out with his Diana Ross-obsessed friend.
Yeah.
Listen, he's just trying to carve out a little place of the world for himself in Anytown, USA. Yeah. He's just, listen, it's my birthday. What is he turning 30 years old or something? And I'm like, John Travolta, you're not 30 years old.
No, he's 37.
Oh, that's right. He's 37.
Yeah. That's believable, right? He was probably like 45 when he made this.
Yeah, that's how movie ages work. You take the age they're supposed to be. The actor needs to be 17.5 years older than that, at least. At least. So if you're playing like a 12-year-old, you got to be 29 at least.
Yeah.
That's the SAG rules.
That's out the door.
That's out the door. That's the Actors Guild
That's
rules.
not even like by the time they're filming. By the time they predict it'll be released.
Right.
Is how old they need to have been.
Haley Joel Osment was a retired, grizzled 55-year-old in The Sixth Sense.
Yeah, I mean, makeup goes a long way, even in the 90s.
Every take, he'd be like, I see dead people. And they're like, will you please take this cigar out of your mouth?
Yeah, they almost got George Burns in that role, but he was a little too old. A little bit, yeah.
They were like, wait, how old you turn this year? 98? Oh, man, so close.
You just missed the mark. We were looking for 97 at the oldest, like the absolute ceiling.
Well, you know what? Maybe if there's a sequel where Haley Joel Osment is a teenager, then you'll be right in the sweet spot.
Yeah. If you are dead or older, you'll be a shoo-in. So, George O'Malley.
John Travolta's character.
Yeah, well, it was George Malley. I don't know why I said because I'm dyslexic, guys. Give me a break. Now, George Malley is a mechanic, and he is in love with this mom who makes terrible chairs.
You said he's in love with his mom.
No, he's in love with just a mom.
Yeah.
And she makes these terrible chairs. I think that's the name of her Etsy profile.
They might as well have been made out of barbed wire. Like,
if wood was barbed wire, that's what these chairs were. Everyone comments on how they're uncomfortable. I thought that was going to come back later in the movie.
I sure love these chairs you make out of only the thorny stems of roses.
Oh, do you file those thorns down? No, can't be bothered.
Now, I'd like to commission you for a chair made only out of pine cones. And I don't mean like laying down. I mean pointing straight up.
with the biggest one right in the center.
Right in the center.
People will enjoy that, I think.
Now, that's some good sitting.
It's a seat that'll relax you and clean you up a little.
These chairs, like, really, like, I know we're joking. They look fucking, like, terrible. They look that bad. And they're all different. They're not even uniform.
No, they're ugly. Like, it's a waste of trees. It turns out she lives in a house in the middle of nowhere,
which is saying something to this town.
Yes, because this is a town. This is like an old western, like how small this town is, and she. I mean, you have to imagine she owns the whole land there. It's like hundreds of acres, and she lives near like a sort of forest. And she's just chopping these trees down to make garbage furniture. That's what she does all day, is that. And she's a single mom of 2 kids.
You'd think if you did something all day for, like, your whole life, you'd be at least kind of good at it.
You'd be marginally good.
Like, she might not be making the most beautiful chairs ever, but, I mean, these look like you just, like, your 5-year-old collected twigs and taped them together and said, "Oh, Mommy, I made you a chair."
And you're like, "That's nice. I sit in it every day." You don't. You throw it in the garbage and say, "Whoops, it broke."
Mommy liked it too much, so she was sitting down when she should be up working to maintain the household because her mom is also indoctrinated to misogyny.
Oh, yeah. Well, this is the 1950s. So he is in love with her. So that's the story. That's the characters, right?
Right.
And then the night of his birthday, he's getting super drunk, and he looks up at the stars because, when you're drunk, you kind of ponder the mystery of life. And he sees a ball of light, and it goes, blah, and then he falls on his tuchus and runs back inside, and he's like, "Oh, my God, did you guys see that light? Oh, it was so bright, and I'm, like, smart now."
And they're all, like, in their wasted, like, "Quiet, I'm trying to win chicken shit bingo," or whatever they're fucking playing in the bar.
"I'm going to win me a TV."
And they're like, "You're drunk." And he's like, "Nope, I'm going to drive home now."
Yeah, they were like, "Oh, wow, you're drunk off your ass." And he's like, I'm going to win this chess game real quick. And then I'm going to drive home. They're like, "Are you sure to drive?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm sure to drive. And I'm sure to drive 5 feet from this place because it's that small."
I mean, to be fair, that's how it worked in the olden times / middle of nowhere, because there's not many things you can run into.
No.
So they're just like, "All right, now if you vomit 3 times on the way to your car, I'm taking your keys and driving you halfway there for you to sober up."
Yeah, and even if you did run into something, it would fall over. You just like stand it right back up because it's just like it's nothing.
Now remember, if you're feeling too drunk, make sure you stop by Subway on the way home, get some food in your belly.
Because nothing settles liquor troubles than Subway.
It's kind of like fighting fire with fire,
Yeah, like in that movie Backdraft. Now, George Malley, he is smart and he can't sleep, and he's like, "I'm going to read some books," and then he figures out, "Oh, this rabbit that's been eating my lawn."
My lawn corn.
My lawn corn. He's in there because, no, duh, he's just in there. How do I make something not be in somewhere? Oh, I just let it out.
I just opened the fucking gate.
And also, I'm certain there's only one rabbit that exists in the town. Like, there's not hundreds of them.
There's many orchards nearby, but I can't think of anywhere more rabbits would come from. Rabbits aren't known for reproducing very much, so...
No, not at all. And he just let it out, and guess what? That rabbit's going to be dead inside 2 days, because there's nothing else out there for him.
Yeah, he's at the beginning talking to Forrest Whitaker, and he's like, "Well, golly, I don't know where this rabbit can keep coming from. I done put this fence a foot into the ground.
Why does he sound like that now?
Because that's before he's smart. Then when he's smart, he goes,
right.
I now understand that I possibly have encapsulated the fine mammal into mine own garden, so I must open the gate. You see, gates are for letting things in and out.
Yes, that's why they're called that.
The name comes from the Latin agata, which means to let rabbits out.
That's the root word. Now, a root word is a word that comes from the ground.
Which is why you're letting the rabbit out, you see. It's eating the root word.
Literally. The word literally is also funny. Because it means books. Excuse me, I must get back to them. So he reads a bunch of books, and then he gets smart because he's reading the books.
Or because of magic light.
Or magic lights, yeah. It's the magic lights that made him know how to read books.
Before that, he's just like looking at him. He's like trying to press play on the page. Why won't it go?
He's like just shaking it. He's like eating them. He doesn't know. Because he thinks like a barbarian. He's like, oh, you eat the heart of your enemy to gain their courage. You eat the page of a book to gain its knowledge.
Oh, hey, it's good to see you. Perfect timing. I'm just boiling up a pot of books. Why don't you come in and grab a scoop?
There you go. Nothing like wet pages. Oh, I detect a hint of cinnamon. I don't know why.
Oh, well, I did throw a baking book in there, so you're probably tasting those delicious cookie recipes I'm assuming are in there.
It's got nice hard edges.
Based on the pictures.
So it's soft, but it's crunchy.
Hey, and if you come by after dark, I'm boiling up some really hot-looking Playboy magazines.
Wait,
extract the sweet, sexy ladies out of those bad boys.
Yeah, it's real milky.
So there he is. He's now good at chess and letting out rabbits.
Yeah. Equal smart. We all know Einstein's game plan was let out rabbits, eat a book, invent a bomb. But instead of inventing bombs, George invents gardening and fuel. Fuel comprised of manure that can make you drive.
Yep. Which already exists, by the way.
Yeah. And solar panels. He says, hey, you know what? I was reading a book that I have in my house. I don't know why I have a book about solar panels, but I have it and I read it, and so I want solar panels.
And Berkeley Man comes to see him, and he's like, hey, we heard you're suddenly smart. What's up with that? And he's like, well, I created a perpetual motion machine. He's like, I don't care about that. You want to come to where I work?
He said, stop right there. Yes, I do want to come. I ate a book about it the other day called The Playboy. So the doctor comes because he predicts an earthquake. How does he predict an earthquake? He lives in California.
Yeah, he just sometimes says, there's about to be an earthquake.
I can feel it.
I can feel it.
I can feel it in the air tonight.
And then the people, when he's wrong, people just forget. But he's frequently right. They just happen a lot.
Yeah, they happen much more often. It's like Nostradamus. If you make 1,000 predictions a day, a couple of them are going to come true. Right. He's like, I predict you will turn into a rat. And then I also predict you're going to eat a rat. And he's like, well, I did eat a rat yesterday.
So that's the thing about making predictions. If you make safe predictions, they can be kind of impressive. Like, oh, there's going to be an earthquake, or like, oh, that dress is ugly or whatever. But if you throw out a really wild one every once in a while, it's pretty unlikely it'll happen. But boy, if it does, people are going to be like super impressed.
Oh yeah, they're gonna shit themselves.
That's why every once in a while I throw out a like, your house is going to fold in on itself and disappear, and then you're going to look down and be on top of a reindeer, and people will be like, that's never going to but if it happens...
Oh, it happened in Poltergeist, except for the deer one.
But see, if it happens...
It happens.
Even more impressive.
Yeah, that means you're super smart.
I'm automatically president.
You are a dead dog. Mr. Talk. Right this way. So, George Malley, super smart. But see, not only is he attracting the attention of his ne'er-do-well everyman friends, but he's also attracted the attention of the government. That's right. The government is like, oh my God, this guy's cooking books, and he's also, and I don't mean he's like financially and like robbing himself.
Not in like the cool, dirty accountant way.
Yeah, he's cooking them. But also that equals he's smart because he's making plants, but more importantly, he has magic powers. We want to know about those powers, the powers to break codes and eat Alamos.
I came here to do two things.
So they test him, and we have the lovely Brent Spiner giving him the old, normal tests that FBIs give to people like, hey, how many mammals can you name? Because this is first grade.
And here's what also is great. He's impressed after he names like 8 animals, and 2 of them aren't even names of specific animals.
Hey, he names 26, every letter of the alphabet.
I don't think he did. He only names like 10.
No, he names 26 because he says, do you want them alphabetically?
Yeah, that doesn't mean he said all the letters of the alphabet. When you file things alphabetically, that doesn't mean you have every letter.
He did. He said aardvark, baboon, and then other animals that go down the list.
Yeah, but for V, he said varmint.
Yeah, he said varmint.
Which is just that's like saying pest or like bug.
But
or like
would you argue that
rodent.
a varmint is a mammal? Like all varmints that fall in that category.
I would say that varmint is something that annoys you that's bigger than a bug, but smaller than a bear.
But varmint does sound like vomit. I think that's why you're confused. Because, vomit is not a mammal.
And George Malley says, yes, I see your confusion. You see, the root word is vomitrius, and it is meant to mean something bad.
Which means mammal, you idiot. He like pulls his glasses off in a like really cocky
Wait, where did you get those glasses? Those are my glasses. Give them back.
Wait, do you want to see me spin them around?
Yeah. Now, show us your magic though, please.
Yeah, and he starts pushing a pencil, which I think the director was trying to say, oh, look, he's pushing pencils.
He's going to get stuck behind a boring desk job now.
Yeah, because he's cooking the books.
He'd rather die.
And then, of course, Brent Spiner is like, hey, how are you doing that? How are you pushing that pencil? And, of course, John Travolta's natural response is, ugh, I mean, I'm connecting with the energy of the pencil, duh, idiot. Like, he's even got his head in his hand, like, just so bored, explain, like, God, do I have to explain this to Yes, you do, because that's not a normal thing.
God, have I only been smart for a week? Because it feels like a century dealing with all of you buffoons. Oh, yeah, baboons. There's another one for
B. There you go. Wait, did I already do a B? Okay, buffoon. That's an animal, right? Because it comes from the root word.
I'm sitting across from one right now.
Enough of this boobery. Oh, there's another one.
Blue-footed boobies. Look them up.
Yeah, they were in Star Wars.
Look them up, FBI. That's making me name the animals.
If you're so smart, what does FBI stand for?
Federal Bureau of Investigation. Oh, that he was asking.
No, yeah, and then he looks down at his list. He like checks the answers, like lifts the page, but it's like, oh, you have to turn it upside down to see the answers. Oh shit. Okay, there we go.
Why do I have female body inspector written down here? That must have been a joke to myself.
Oh, I thought it was frequent booby inspector.
And George Malley's like, well, for me, it stands for finally being intelligent. And I'm a great member of it. All right, it didn't improve my syntax, okay? Oh, yeah, and then they celebrate his birthday with another, like, basket full of lawn corn. this must be like an old-timey spelling or something, but this made me laugh so hard. The basket that holds corn, it says PopeCorn.
Oh, I think
Pope, then corn.
I know what that is because Forrest Whitaker's name was Pope. His name was Henry Pope.
Oh, are you serious?
Yeah. So it was his corn.
I just thought it was like, y'all, he was so smart.
Look, it's not your corn, it's his corn.
I thought it was like he was so smart that his corn got so good, the Pope commissioned him to make his own corn brand called PopeCorn.
Corn brand cornbread.
When
the Pope said it was okay.
It makes corn so good, it's a sin. PopeCorn.
There's a picture of his face and he's got a little bit of corn on him.
The corn's very young.
No, I found it to be quite mature. And the Portuguese the Portuguese maid. She got it made.
She's already she's like Irish pregnancy.
Well, yeah. Because she's the mom of the sick kid who we don't even hear him say a single sentence.
Thank God that young, healthy boy didn't die from food poisoning, which I've had a million fucking times in my life because I'll eat any shady street food I come across.
Well, they were poor. Poor people, they have to eat that room temp tuna from Subway because it's cheaper. And it's like, I'll roll that die, Even though 1 through 4 is like, you will be sick and might die, but then you might roll a 5.
I mean, listen, life is all about rolling the dice. That's my whole thought.
Oh, okay. Roll.
Hey, listen. Sometimes you're gonna walk out in the middle of the street and you're gonna get hit by a bolt of tumor that makes you smart. Sometimes it'll be a car. You're always rolling the dice. Hey, by the way, if it was a tumor, what was that light? Is it just like tumor light?
No, Robert Duvall is like, oh yeah, you that happens.
Robert Duvall's like, you got an angel with you right now.
No, he said one of the symptoms of getting a brain tumor is becoming smart. One, and then another one is being able to move things with your mind. And then and he's like, oh, what was that other one? Oh yeah, you will see a very specific ball of light that'll blow specifically in the sky once or twice before you die.
To be honest with you, I'm ashamed of myself as a physician for not realizing it sooner.
Because when you said that, I'm thinking retroactively now. When you said in the bar, oh, I saw a big bright light and it made a sound, I should have just went, tumor. You done got a tumor, son.
Well, what can I say? I was all hopped up on PopeCorn.
But anyway, you were saying about animals. Oh my God, I've got shit to be my hands with.
But oh no, Jono, a child is lost. There's a guy who's sick, and Travolta had to read a book to learn Portuguese over a car ride. And then,
didn't that all seem kind of staged, like for the Berkeley professor?
Like they're like, yeah, we'll see how smart you really and psychic powers you really are.
Yeah. He learns Portuguese. He talks to the Portuguese man. He's like, "Oh, I've got food poisoning."
He's like on death's bed, death's door, and he's like, "Ugh, I think I ate a bad clam."
Well, he went to Subway after drinking. That's
right.
Like, you gotta be careful.
Hey, listen, a Subway out in the middle of that town, it doesn't get that much action. The ingredients are not so. Their motto isn't eat fresh, it's just eat.
Well, especially if they're coming from the front lawn garden of John Travolta, where rabbits are. And rabbits are the filthiest animals in the world.
Oh, can I have a tuna salad? Sir, you know we're 8,500 miles inland, right?
No, it's more like, can I get a tuna salad? And they're like, we have to sign this consent form first that says it's a waiver.
Yes, I see you had a food challenge on this Subway. It says, eat anything here and you win a prize.
Eat anything here and still be alive for a week. Then you get your next sub half off.
Then we'll punch your card towards a free sub.
Yeah. So yeah, the boy, where's this boy? Oh, he's also been eating clams at Subway because he's also sick.
Yeah.
So they never make it clear what that situation is because it's like, hey, grandfather's dying on a mattress in a shack and the kid is not there. So did they both eat the same thing? And then the kid was like, well, I'm going to go out into the woods now and then get lost.
He's like a cat that goes into the wilderness just to die alone.
And so everyone's like, I don't see him, and it's midday. Like it's bright. There's no clouds. You can see everything. Mm-hmm. And George Malley, he's like, he's not here. I feel he's not here. And then he starts getting, oh no, he's getting a little tummy cramp. He's got a little stomach illness detector in his stomach because he's like, ooh, let's see. If I look in this direction, I feel a little better. If I look in this direction, ooh, that's it. Okay, follow the stomach cramps. Follow the stomach cramps.
Dowsing rod for stomach cramps. Yeah.
And then when they get to a clearing where all that exists in the area is just trees and then a weird sort of monument of wood, like
it's like a lean-to, but that has logs lying up against it.
and everyone's there, and they're like, "I wonder where the kid could be," and they're like, "I don't know. Maybe we should check this spot over here. Let's check with George first. George, where do you think the kid is?" And he's like, I don't know. It's a gamble. I think he might be in this
maybe
wooded
the only spot we can't see right now.
The only spot that looks like a makeshift shack made of thrown away logs. Let's check there. Oh, there's a ladder. Okay. Well, do you think he's up the ladder? I don't know. Should we check?
This kid be like, oh, I'm so sick. Let me climb this ladder to lie on top of this shit.
He climbed the ladder and then covered up the ladder with that's the only conclusion.
The only way we can tell, this is Robert Duvall, the only way we can tell if he's sincerely a phenomenon is if we set a trap with a sick kid.
Yeah, so you're saying the town planned this?
Yeah, they're like, all right, we know that this grandpa takes his kid into Subway every Thursday at 2:30 p.m. So they're like poisoning the cold cut combo meat package thing.
The cold cut tuna combo.
The cold cut tuna combo. Now that's a combo.
Well, it's not technically cold. It's more about room temp.
Come on in for a tepid cut combo.
And but see, their biggest folly was writing it down, and we all know George likes to read, so he already knew about it.
Oh man, yeah, the old George would have just thrown it in the pot for a little while into boiling water and see what it tasted like.
This one tastes like
betrayal.
So he escapes the hospital.
Wait.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Okay. We don't need to spell it out. You could already deduce from what we've said that he's in a hospital. Doesn't matter if it's for crazies or for smarties. He's in a hospital, and they want to cut open his brain, and they want to be like, "Hey, what's making you look?"
Oh yeah. Oh. I'm so glad you mentioned this. I completely forgot about this doctor having this bananas conversation with him, saying like, now, we have an opportunity to cut your fucking brain open. You're gonna die.
Yeah.
Either way, so you might as well let us cut it open while you're alive.
Yeah, while you're alive, because that's where the good juices are.
Listen, George, I'm gonna level with you. Here at the hospital for sickies and sillies, we're not like the Subway down the road. We need that sweet, fresh meat.
We need to farm that fresh brain of yours. We
need to pluck it out while it's still beating.
We're like the zombies of smart people. We're gonna open up your head, and we're just gonna look at those brains and kind of just dig our fingers in. You know, like when you dig your fingers in like pudding. Or fresh Jello.
It's like when you're making meatballs.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
Yes, I see. You mean like when you're developing the gluten in dough to make a nice focaccia.
Yeah, or sourdough. Because
actually, that makes more sense. I don't think you really developed the gluten for focaccia. Much.
It doesn't. You can get it gluten free if you like.
Welcome to bread fights.
They have those options at Subway. They're just not flavored.
Oh, so Subway, like all the meat is like turkey based or whatever.
Is it?
I don't think the tuna is. That would be weird, but yeah, like all the bread is also the same. It's just different colors.
It's just well assembled sawdust.
The wheat bread is just white bread with a couple drops of food coloring. No, we just cook it a little longer.
No, it's white bread, but it's just got like thistles on top to like kind of mask it up. So they want to cut open his brains, and he's like, I don't want to do that. And Dr. Man is like, off screen, arranges something with a judge and says, I'm going to do it anyway.
Yeah.
And then so he escapes by fooling the janitor by giving him his pudding that he had his hands in. And we all know that smart people perspire from their hands a sedative that will put you to sleep.
Oh, right. Yeah, they keep giving him these pills to take to make him go by sleep.
Yeah, to make him go bye-bye. They're putting him down. And so he escapes, and he's like, you know what? I know exactly when I'm going to die. It's going to be on a Tuesday. It's going to be at 3:30 in the afternoon.
Oh, yeah. I don't think we mentioned that the reason he's magic and smart is because of a brain tumor.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, everyone knew that.
You've seen the movie.
Yeah, that classic movie phenomenon.
By the way, I'm glad that I now have a new thing to worry about, health anxiety-wise, when Robert Duvall's like, it's called a spironolacanosis or whatever he calls it, and
Macadochus.
He's like, it's a nacadochus, and it's basically a tasty little tumor that spreads out like a spider. Those, I looked it up. That's real.
Really? Does it make you super smart?
Only one way to find out.
I would love that. I would love to know when I was going to die.
So you'd want to give up. So you'd want to only live for like however long this movie takes place, a couple weeks, just to be really smart for those 2 weeks, but give up like living for another 30 years or whatever.
What else am I going to do?
Baby, I've done it. I'm on a podcast. I've achieved the summit of life.
I'm currently coasting at the ceiling. Said Gabriel through his mighty trumpet, because he was signaling in the next movie called Michael.
Gabriel. Oh. Michael? Right, with John Travolta.
Right, yeah. I mean, Gabriel's not going to announce himself. That'd be kind of brash, don't you think?
Michael 2, Gabriel.
Like Michael's not in it at all.
No.
It's just about Gabriel.
Gabriel comes down and he's like, well, time to give this another shot. Wait, another shot. A shot.
A shot.
It's my turn this time to help Annie McDowell.
Wait, what did Gabriel do?
You just said it. He plays horns.
Oh, okay.
He's like a member of the band or something.
Yeah, it's his band. It's the Gabriel Band. No last name.
The Gabriel 5. A sweet little jazz quintet playing all the hits from Jesus.
And he's like, yeah, I took the coal train to get here. It's a great way to get from A to B flat.
Classic hits like 5 Miles to Nineveh or
the Dave Brew Breck. Tian.
Don't nail it before you sail it.
Oh, yeah, that old saying, don't nail it before you sail it.
Man, if I had a Bible for every time someone said don't nail it before you sail it, I'd be swimming in Ephesians over here.
Maybe be swimming in a stew of books.
A sweet stew of knowledge.
That's
right.
George Malley soup. But we're talking about a different George. In fact, a George named Michael. Not the singer.
That's right. Not the. Although you do have to have faith in the angels.
That's right.
Spirit in the sky.
You have to have faith to drive a bunch of miles to get to a place where an angel might be. Because
you work for a tabloid for Bob Hoskins, and he's like, I hate tunes.
Oh, but he says it Britishly because that's his natural voice.
Yeah, it's always jarring to me, even though like it's it's his natural accent.
It is
British. I'm just so used to hearing him talk like a grizzled New Yorker.
Yeah, it's really weird to hear him talk. And it's not even like, he doesn't even have a grizzled British accent. It's a like near effeminate, you know? Because he's like, hey, did you get the story on the guy?
Oh my God, I thought Bob Hoskins was dead. Apparently he's just walked into the studio.
Oh, yes, it's me, Bob Hoskins. Ask me any question you have. Sorry to laugh, Bob. It's just, you know, you're just so amazing looking.
Yeah. Well, that's me with my feminine voice. Anyway, I heard there's an angel out there, and you're going to go find him for me, and we're going to have an angel for Christmas.
Oh, my God. Is that Dick Van Dyke from Mary Poppins?
It's a jolly holiday with Michael.
Hope your feather fell out. Let me get it
But
for
he
you.
really is like, you have to go get this angel for Christmas because we are going to have an angel in Chicago for Christmas. And I'm like, that is the most bananas premise for a movie.
Yeah, and they're talking about a rag here, like the same paper that puts out like, oh, Bat Boy is real.
National Enquirer or
Yeah.
Weekly World News. I mean, not National.
Well, I mean, they're both trash.
Yeah, they're just different kinds of trash.
Yeah.
National Enquirer is like, ooh, the princess is pregnant. Is it from the prince? And whereas Weekly World News is like, the princess is pregnant with a troll baby?
Because we have irrefutable evidence. We have a photo of her at Disney World taking a picture with a troll. The troll was not available for questioning.
The source is some guy who called himself Jonesy. He told me that his best buddy heard that she was having a troll baby.
Troll baby. Oops. No.
So Andy McDowell and Glasses Man and Sparky, the dog's owner, are like, all right.
Sparky Man, Sparky Dog.
Here we go. And we've got to drive. Because,
well, they have a drive to tell news stories.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, because he said, well, why don't you just fly there? And they're like, first class, and he's like, all right, you can drive or whatever.
Yeah, because you want to shell out money for an angel.
You know what? No, that's not right. They must have, thing that didn't make sense, number one. They must have flown there because once they find Michael and they're like, we're gonna take you to make a laughingstock out of you, please. They're like, he won't fly, which is ironic because he has wings. We have to drive.
Yeah, we never see him fly once.
And he's like, oh, yeah, I'm not going to pay for first class. You'll have to drive in it. And, like, so they flew there and got a rental car, and they're driving all the way back to Chicago. And, how far away are they?
Did they not get a round trip flight? Did they get just
bought one-way ticket?
One-way ticket? Because they knew, oh, yeah, we're going to drive there. So they were driving the rental car? That's more expensive. Drive?
Astronomically so.
But he needed to see the world's biggest ball of twine and the world's biggest frying
pan.
They
had to see the world's biggest angel.
And he had to see the world's biggest blueprint. It's a scale map of the earth.
Have you ever stopped at any of those roadside attractions that are like world's biggest or world's weirdest or world's flattest? Or...
Oh, you know what? I did world's flattest earth. Is that what you said?
I just said world's flattest, blank. This is the world's flattest piece of paper.
Well...
It is. You cannot look at it.
Yeah, it disappears before your eyes. It's like Invisalign. It's actually an ad for Invisalign. It's like it's so thin you'd think you weren't not wearing braces.
Invisalign is actually short for invisible line, which is what it looks like when you have the paper on its side.
Oh, so you're saying they have, they could sue them?
I just said paper on its side. Like, are we? Paper doesn't stand up.
Well, it's being held by string.
Oh, a la Shroud of Turin with lasers and stuff.
Yes, it's behind glass that you would think is bulletproof, but it is not. It breaks.
It is not.
You could snap your finger next to it, it breaks. It's like glass that's so thin you're surprised it's even glass.
So they end up at some kind of bed and breakfast sort of situation with Edith Bunker.
Oh yeah, it was the Milk Bottle Inn.
Oh, that's right.
Why is it called that? Who cares? The point is, they get there and they're like, "Hey, we've come to see the angel," and she's like, blah, blah, blah. She's like hacking up a cat, and she's like, "The angel will be around. Don't worry about it, asshole." Like, she's so mean.
She's so mean, but also like, I would expect them to be like more protective of it. He's just like, they're like, "Oh, Michael, you mean the angel?" Yeah, he'll be down in a second.
Stop and lay off.
Yeah, like, all right. I thought she'd be like, "What are you talking about? What angel?" She's just thinking about business at the Milk Bottle, and
yeah, she wants. That's her main goal. She's not about like making money off the angels. She just wants more folks to visit her fucking cabin.
Right. Listen, when you own a little Milk Bottle Inn, you don't get opportunities to strike gold that often. But boy, when an angel, a gross angel that drinks beer, walks around in his boxers and eats bowls full of sugar while staring at you like he's in prison and you're going to steal his food, you milk that. And put it in a bottle. That's our new logo.
Yeah,
I mean our new slogan.
That's right. No, and they put up a billboard with his face on it, and it says, "It's good enough for me."
That's right. I'm just grabbing those wings and I'm just squeezing that sweet publicity milk out of them.
She's like, "Michael, you have a guest," and he comes down in boxers, and this is '96 Travolta, so he's a little, he's a little worse for wear.
He's like dad bod. He's not like grossly out of shape.
Oh no,
he's just got a little. He's not,
He's deadbeat dad bod, though.
He's not greased lightning anymore. He's like greasy lightning now.
He's greasy under lightning.
I used to be called greased lightning, now I'm greased thunder. Because I'm shaped like a cloud.
And then, so he comes down, he's like, where are my smokes? Why
does he have amnesia?
I don't know.
Where am I?
I don't remember.
What are these wings?
Who are you people? What is this, air? And so he comes down, he's gross, and then after he goes upstairs, she looks at them for reactions. She's like, pretty nice.
Pretty cool. And angels, his wings are in full swing.
Yep, they're full swing wings.
Just letting them all hang out.
Yeah, you know what they say, rock out with your cock out, ming out with your wing out.
Yeah,
I'm sure there was a better ding out. How about that? Does that work? Oh, boy. Hang out with your wang out.
No, it's not his dick. His
no, but
wings.
You're affecting
like
an
chicken
accent.
wang.
Yeah, chicken wang.
Oh, I hang
you gotta
out with
hang
my wangs
out with the
out.
wangs out. He must have been clipped too, because you never see him fly. He doesn't fly.
That's right. He's like when you buy a parrot at a pet store. They clip him so they can't escape. They do not want to live with you.
No, to hear you say the same thing over and over, and they just repeat it just to make you leave him alone. There's more flying in The Boy Who Wished He Could Fly. You remember that movie?
No, but
or
I'm
the boy
guessing he dies from jumping off of something.
It's about a kid who's autistic and dies of it. Now, it's a bad movie. Don't worry about it. It's not like
we're not endorsing.
It's not a painting of a movie.
Michael's like, all right, I'll go with you if I can drink beer and smoke cigarettes
and eat sugar.
Yeah. I came here to do 3 things. And they're like, yeah, fine, whatever. We still don't believe you're real, even though we're staring at your wings.
Well, here's my theory on the relationship between Michael and old lady coughs a lot, because when he comes down, when you see him for the first time, he's all like, "Ugh," and then the next morning he's all like, "Ugh," and then after she dies from hacking up an egg, presumably.
Oh yeah, because that shot, it looks like she's dropping it. We we're
she's dropping it all right from her throat. And then she dies, and it's almost like comedic that it cuts, like it's a hard cut to the funeral service. And then, now Michael's all chipper and he's happy. And it's like, oh boy, I think he was waiting that out.
Yeah, they met at emphysema class or whatever, and that's why they're both, because he smokes, she's an ex-smoker dying of cough.
Well, no, he smokes, she's got an egg in her throat. It's a match made in which he invented. He invented matches. Apparently.
Man, they got someone with coffee stuck in their throat, and they are like a full breakfast.
So it's like road trip, and then they get in the car, and they make him sit in the back because they're embarrassed.
Yeah, just duck down if we pass anyone we know.
And then he's like, stop the car. I need to beat up a bull. And no, not bull from Night Court. Okay? Don't be confused. I know sometimes when I hear the word bull, I'm like, oh, Night Court. It's like, oh, wait, no. And you got Andie MacDowell, who writes country western song lyrics.
Her words.
And every time somebody, and it's that like annoying thing where somebody's like, sometimes you can't catch a rat if you don't have a bat. And she's like, I gotta pull out my notebook and write this down. Because like, what was it like? She died making breakfast, and she's like,
that's a great song.
That's beautiful. That's a great song.
She was frying up the chicken, then her heart took a licking. Guys, this stuff writes itself.
The egg came from her throat like wind to a boat.
She coughed up an egg because she was on her last leg.
She died in the kitchen. Oh, darn.
The angel couldn't save, so now she's in the grave. Let me call up Garth Brooks. I couldn't think of a single country singer. Let me call up Garth Brooks. He's gonna love this gold I'm spewing.
Or Travis Tritt, or Big and Rich. It's a honky-tonk Christmas and a honky-tonk breakfast.
And now Big and Rich with their hit song, She Died Making Breakfast. And then Andie MacDowell's got Glass's friend, who's...
Andie MacDowell and her Andie McPals.
So, Michael, as angels are wont to do, headbutts a steer, and then he's in the clear.
Gets a mug of beer.
That's more accurate.
Yeah, they go to a bar. They go to a bar, and then, William Hurt is eating a lemon like a hand fruit, like a psycho. And he's like, and Andie MacDowell looks at this, and her response to this is not, what are you doing?
What the fuck is wrong with you?
Instead, she goes, that's not how you eat a lemon. And I thought her follow-up was going to be, this is how you eat a lemon. You don't. But instead, she grabs it from him and pours like salt on it and then bites into it.
She puts Tabasco on it.
And like
wipes it on the floor
and eats it. As gross as that is, that's not even really like, that's not even a comment. That'd be like looking at somebody eating a burger and going, that's not how you eat a burger, and then just pour a little ketchup on it and go, that's how you, what? Like, you just put salt on it. That had nothing to do with
and
the
also,
technique.
you just made it worse.
Yeah. Oh my God.
I would have liked if she said, that's not how you eat a lemon, and she grabs a whole lemon and peels it like a banana.
Or she goes, that's not how you eat a lemon. And she grabs it and she throws it at somebody's head. You got to boil it in a pot with some books. Lemon book water.
I feel smarter already.
In fact, no, even Michael had his own take on it because he grabs the lemon, squeezes it into his water, and then puts a little sugar in there. And this is what's wild to me. William Hurt is like, oh yeah, by eating a lemon like a hand fruit, normal. Squeezing lemon juice into water with sugar, hey, you ruined my drink. Like he was
like he's never heard of lemonade before.
Yeah, like it was some kind of revelation. Like he was looking at it going, can I like, take credit for this? I'm going to be rich.
And, Michael's always saying he invented stuff that he's like saying,
yeah.
I invented the line before people were walking around. It was chaos.
Yeah.
And so he's like, yeah, you're welcome. That was my newest invention. It's called lemon water. Lemon water sugar.
Sweetened lemon water.
It's called Le Chugwa.
I call it SL Dub for short. Dub is short for W, by the way.
Isn't that like lemonade? Excuse me. I'm the angel here. I think I know what things are called.
I don't know how it's helping at all. It's not lemon-aiding anybody.
Oh, man. Then he does that sweet dance with all those hot 20 women that he's going to bang all at once, I guess, because he hypnotizes ladies. Is that part of being an angel?
A part of being Michael.
Anyone named Michael?
He's the angelest of all angels. Now, he uses his angel powers to hypnotize these women to, like, I guess he plans to fornicate them at some point because he grabs them and he looks over his shoulder at the table of stars that are in the movie, and he's Andy McDowell and her pals, and says, love, that's where it's at. And he winks, like, and the wink was basically like the subtitle. I was watching the movie with subtitles. The subtitles said, like, in parentheses, he's gonna go fuck these ladies.
Winks fuckingly.
There you go. That's the way. And then he starts dancing because, maybe the producers of the film were like, oh, man, remember when you danced in Pulp Fiction? Can you do something crazy like that in this? He's like, yeah, of course. I can do crazy all day. And so he starts dancing, which hypnotizes other ladies who are with their fellas. Some of them are probably married or they're just fooling around. Doesn't matter. And he starts, like, making love to them on the dance floor, like
with his eyes in his thighs.
And the guys are not too happy about it, so they go and try to fight him. And then Michael's like, all right, it's battle time. It's time to, like, just destroy you guys because I have literally godlike strength. So, like, yeah, that painted him as kind of a real fucker in my book.
Yeah, it's kind of like when you go to an ant pile and you, like, punch the top of it off and they bite you, and so you're like, oh, you're dead, and so you shoot a flamethrower into it to kill all of them, and you're like, see, they're the bad guys.
Yeah, you see these fucking asshole ants, like, oh, fuck them.
Defending their honor like little pieces of shit. I'm going to dip them in chocolate and eat their family.
Yeah. And then they go to Jello
gel.
Jello gel.
It's like the minimumist of security.
But, you put it in your hair and you're like, oh, look nice.
This is so stupid. I feel like all the bars and everything are made of Jello, and it's just constantly making this sound like
it's like wobbling. So they're in the jail, and then Michael's like, apologize. The chickens have come to roost. It's time to collect.
Oh, yeah, because he made a deal with Glasses Man that was, I will go with you on one condition. You will apologize when I say so.
When I say so, yeah.
And he's like, okay. Fine,
he's like,
guess.
Yeah, sure, I agree to that, not knowing that he was probably going to, like, later spill hot soup in his lap and go, now apologize. He's like, but you did that to me. He's like, that's right, I gotcha.
Hey, I just want you to know I fucked your ex-wife. What? Now apologize.
And then, and he makes a similar forcible promise to Andy McDowell saying, hey, you're going to sing a song, and you're going to do it when I say so.
And then you're going to say I love you to Glasses Man when I say so.
Do it. He's like a 5-year-old. Like, that's what angels are. They eat sugar.
I'm not going to eat my Frosted Flakes unless you put 8 pounds of sugar on it.
And then they go to another bar where Joey Lauren Adams is the waitress.
Joey Lawrence Adams.
Joey Lawrence Adams.
Whoa, we got pie.
Yeah, and she's saying, oh, we got every kind of pie you can imagine. Every kind of pie, even 3.14.
Yeah, and then she goes on to name the most normal kinds of pies. Yeah. We got chocolate, apple, strawberry rhubarb.
Cherry, I think.
I think.
Is that
maybe
a pie? Can that be a pie? It sounds like a pie.
She should have said something weird like, we've got Brumbleberry and tofu.
And then when she fixes her glance on Michael Wings over here, oh my God, she gets super wet. And by wet, I mean sweaty, because the heat between
Sweaty
them.
in her vagina, yeah.
She's just like, oh, heavens, the best.
You see her like buckle over from the shifting of fluids in her body.
She was like, what are we talking about? My pie? I mean, yeah. And so he takes her to the bone zone.
he takes her to the fucking wing zone. He takes her to Wingstop.
He takes her to
and he gives her
zone.
all she can eat. Trust me. And those are not boneless, but they are spicy.
Those are bone on and bone in.
Yeah,
and I love that. I love the idea that when she leaves, she's just like, "Oh, you got these wings, groovy." Because remember, in the '90s, we were going through a '60s phase, and then she comes out and she gets into her Volkswagen bus.
Well, she was living in the middle of nowhere, so they were a couple decades behind culturally. So she's like, "Man, did you hear about Watergate? That's pretty crazy."
Can you believe we put a man on the moon?
The president just got assassinated.
Did you hear? Can you use your powerful wings to bring him back to life?
Speaking of which,
presidents
of using wings to bring back to life.
Oh, right.
The wing bring.
Sparky.
The little doggy.
Which, like,
old Jack Russell guy.
You remember when we went through a period in the 90s where every movie had to have a little dog in it? Every fucking movie had a little dog in it. And I'm not arguing. I like dogs. But it was a cheap way for a movie to be like, look how sweet and inviting this movie is because there's a dog.
Isn't that relatable?
Even the poster, the goddamn poster for Michael has John Travolta. Well, first off, like the wings take up like 10% of the poster. It's cut off at the end, but it's John Travolta. It's just a close up of him. And then, like, superimposed in the corner of the poster is the dog sitting, and there's a feather on his nose or something to imply that it's going to be a cutesy, like, the dog is also an angel.
He almost became an angel for real.
He did. He got hit by a truck, not squashed, because he was a fully intact dog. I was expecting more gruesomeness.
Oh, you were? You thought he was going to, like, use a fucking bench scraper?
Well, like a spatula, you know? It's the same one he used for his eggs.
Oh, good thing I kept this.
Gotta flip this dog over. He's gonna get burned.
Did you say over easy? It looks more like scrambled. Hey-oh.
It's good.
Extra ketchup.
This is over hard to tell you, but your dog died. This isn't over easy for me. Poached.
Don't worry, he brings the dog back to life. Also, it didn't really die. It's a movie.
Yeah, he used the power of his wings to bring him to life, and everyone's like, "Oh my God, you really are an angel!"
Even though they've already seen him seduce 30 women, headbutt a steer, they've seen his wings while he was otherwise pretty much naked. But this was the first real, like, oh.
And remember the scene when he lifts the car, you know, because Godzilla was coming. He's like, "Oh shit!" And he lifted the car and ran across the railroad tracks because Godzilla doesn't like to cross the railroad tracks. It was a deleted scene that I made up. So they get to Chicago, and now he's super depleted of his
miracle powers.
His miracle powers.
His phenomenon powers.
Yeah. His Michael powers. And they get to... Now, I thought this was sweet. Okay. They get to Sears Tower, And he's like, Michael, look. Again with the theme that he's like 5 years old. They're like, look. And he looks up and you see his eyes widen. He's like, the Sears Tower is the largest building ever made. And so he's like, oh my God, it's the theme of largest things. He's like, I can die now again. And he lies down and becomes like a handful of feathers, like tiny feathers, not even large feathers.
That's canon. You obviously didn't read the Bible. Like every 5 pages, it's like, and then he became a pile of bird feathers, of baby bird feathers.
Baby bird feathers. Oh, that's sad. And then that's it. And then
and then Glasses Man quits his job, and Bob Hoskins is like, I'm just, kidding. Just give it back to me. Tell me I'm gross.
Fight me, punch me, so I can sue you. And he's like, no. And then he leaves, and it's super not clear what he's like. And you never see the friend again, like Sparky Man. You never see him again, or the dog. Like I thought they were best friends, William Hurt and Sparky Man. I thought they were best friends, but we never see him again.
They were just work. They were just work.
Oh,
friends.
They were just work friends. Yeah. It was his like. He
was like, "Thank God I quit that job. I don't have to hang out with that fucking loser and his shitty dog anymore." That dog was always pissing on my Crocs.
Crocs.
Well, you didn't show it in the movie, but when he was, winding down at home, he was slipping on those sweet Crocs.
And he's like, "Oh, I feel a puddle.
I feel a puddle." Damn it, Sparky! Why are you in my room?
Why are you in my house? Michael pulls a fast one on them and makes them meet in a dirty alleyway.
Oh my God, Jono. Glasses Man, when he sees Michael Man before he goes to see Andy McDowell, he's about to order angel hair pasta. Michael is an angel. He has hair. I'm just saying, there's something there.
Yeah, I was really trying to understand what the scene was trying to tell me.
Yeah.
Because it's like he kept saying angel and pasta. And I was like, well, the movie's not about pasta making.
He was saying that Michael was not an impasta.
Oh! And now, before we make our final decisions, it's time to review some reviews of these movies in a segment called The Good, the Bad, and the Fighters, where Conrad and I pick a 5-star and 1-star review to compare and contrast for each of these films. Now, the kicker is that I have picked reviews for the film Phenomenon, and Conrad is tasked with doing Michael.
That's right, Jono. Lay them on me. I'm ready to hear your good and bads.
All right. Here are my good and bads from multiple bads, one good. No, here's my 5-star review for Phenomenon. So, 5 stars. When I saw this movie in the theater, I was on a first date with a nice lady. However, she appeared to not be moved by the movie and showed no emotions at all. Not even one tear. You know, the emotion of tear. Seeing as how this movie is a real tearjerker, I thought she was not my kind of women. And I know I have dyslexia. I'm not saying that wrong. He says, not my kind of women. I have seen this movie about 10 times. And never tire of it. Absolutely wonderful. Truly a must-see movie. This movie is pure magic. It made me cry happy and sad tears. Truly a remarkable achievement.
I like that his instinct isn't, maybe this movie isn't as good as I think it is. His instinct is, this fucking lifeless bitch.
Yeah,
that is so weird.
His reaction is just, oh, you didn't cry at the movie Phenomenon? Later.
Swipe
left.
Sociopath.
I wonder if that's in his actual like dating profile. Like, you must be able to cry at this movie or don't even bother.
10 times? 10 times. Jono, this is a 2-hour-long movie. That's 20 hours of this person's life. They've spent half of a work week watching the movie Phenomenon with John Travolta.
Yeah, he's not specific. He probably did do that. Like, he took vacation hours just to watch it 10 times.
It was like, that's his version of speed dating. He's got a different Tinder date 3 times a day.
Hey, so what are we going to go out dancing? Are we going to get some drinks?
The 1996 film Phenomenon starring John Travolta, Sent Out.
Oh, God. You know what? I'm not into this. Oh, yeah? You don't like to cry? Hit the brakes.
This is like a weird version of incel.
Well, see, 66 of 90 people found this helpful.
Oh, my God. These people need to reset what the bar is for helpful.
I don't know. There's, 20, 24.
I guess it helps them know not to match with him on Tinder.
Exactly. They look at that and go, ooh. All right, so here's my 1-star review.
Here we go.
Not my pick. We're reviewing reviews, okay? Someday we'll get to that inception moment where we're reviewing our own reviews, but here we go. This movie was not the best, and I'm not gonna even lie. It reminds me of the 1820s, and I'm not a big fan of the 1820s.
What? That's so specific.
Hey, they're not lying about it, though.
Hey, it reminds him of the Civil War.
That's before the Civil War.
That's antebellum times.
All right, it continues. I'm not a big fan of the 1820s because they were homophobic, and me and my family are part of the LGBTQ+.
Wait, what does that have to do with this movie?
One person found this helpful.
What was the homophobia in Phenomenon?
No, you're missing the point. The 1820s were homophobic. Like the decade of the 1820s itself was homophobic. Ergo, they don't like the movie.
This movie took place in the 90s. What made them think of the 1820s?
But they're reminded of it, and they're not lying about that. That's what...
I appreciate their refreshing honesty.
Oh, I feel like I shouldn't mention that it reminds me of the 1820s, but I can't lie.
This is like, this person's life must be a fucking nightmare. They're like writing a letter and they're like, you know what? They did this during segregation too. I'm so mad.
I like that it's not like the 1920s or the 1880s.
Or even now, there's homophobic people in every time.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my
okay,
God.
So 5-star. Person liked the movie, but not the lady.
Yeah, that's right.
And then 1-star, they didn't like the movie because 1820s is gay. Or no, 1820s is anti-gay. Oh my God. Very strange ways to view a movie.
Yeah, I see the through line of these two as I'm confused by both of them and the reasons behind them liking and not liking. I tell you what, though, that first person, they find a lady that loves this movie, they're going to have a long, happy, weird life together.
Okay, before we get to your reviews, which of the two do you think is more accurate representation of Phenomenon?
I mean, I could see someone getting tearful in it because it's very sad.
Yeah.
So I do not see the correlation between the 1820s or homophobia, so I'm going to go with the first one.
Okay, yeah, I agree. The 5-star is probably more accurate.
All right, so now it's time for me to read my 5-star and 1-star reviews of the movie Michael. This first one is bananas. Okay.
This is the good one.
This is the, good one. 5 stars. I thought it was brilliant. John Travolta, best performance. The weird thing seeing this movie was part of my life that the events, what happened in it, happened to me.
What?
I definitely would recommend seeing it. 3 exclamation points.
Wait, that's it?
Yep.
This happened to me? So I recommend... You got a brain tumor?
No, this isn't phenomenon. This is Michael. You found an angel.
Found an angel.
And he helped you find a partner?
Oh my God. No, he was Michael. I was an angel. This happened to me.
I died, but not really.
Or maybe the only part that was that he could relate to was I also took a road trip.
This is a young lady, so I'm assuming that she identified with the lady who coughed up an egg, or I don't know. I coughed up an egg. Go see this movie.
And then I
died. No one found this helpful, but also no one found it unhelpful.
Oh, yeah,
so
that's true.
Dead even there.
Dead.
Okay, now it's time for the bad. It's time for this 1-star review.
Okay.
This one has a title: A Disgrace to the Film Industry.
God.
Now, this is in 2 parts. One of the worst soundtracks of all time. A bunch of real name actors, but the script was absolute garbage. Angels are righteous, by the way, not depraved and gross. If you want to see another, quote, nice guy, end quote, John Travolta movie, check out Phenomenon.
No way!
But this movie was just awful. I would also like to just point out, since you're not reading this, a lot of these words are randomly capitalized. Not all caps. The first letter in some of these words,
like proper words.
Worst and soundtrack and absolute garbage are all capitalized.
I quite am fond of the real names.
Yeah, real name actors, not phony name actors.
Yeah, they're not pseudonyms.
Yeah, that's right. Going by these screen names like a bunch of liars. So, okay. Jono, which of these 2 reviews do you think most accurately
Wait, what was
it up?
The first one was...
where it happened to her.
It happened to her.
Then the second one is horrible soundtrack and angels aren't depraved. Also real name actors.
I would say I'd have to say the second one, the 1-star, just because they do share the same opinions of some of the characters. Like, angels are not supposed to be depraved.
He's an angel, not a saint.
And I did not like the soundtrack.
Yeah, that's true. Also, I just, unfortunately, name redacted, I can't pick your reviews an accurate representation because I'm having trouble believing that the events in the movie Michael happened to you.
Yeah.
Nothing personal. I'm not saying I don't believe women. I'm just saying.
But they're not specific. They're just, this happened to me.
Which part? You took a road trip to Chicago?
Yeah. And saw the biggest ball of twine?
It was crazy. And then they made a movie about it. Go see it.
I can't believe this happened enough to people that they made a movie.
Well,
okay.
Now that we've heard what the public has to say, I think it's time for us to make our final decision and pick a winner to reign on top supreme.
Oof. Yeah. Okay. Yeah,
so,
you go first.
Jono, in the Battle of Phenomichael, what's coming out on top?
While I kind of liked the concept of Phenomenon, genius because of whatever, and I kind of like the idea that it wasn't just, he's smart and whatever. It was more of a connection to the energy of the world kind of thing. It's like, that's kind of neat. But the dialogue and the story is kind of nah.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas in Michael, it's kind of flipped. Like the story itself is kind of, sure. But I loved the characters. I liked the journey that William Hurt and Andy McDowell go on. And, John Travolta is just very charismatic in both, but I kind of liked him a little more as an angel. So I'm going to say Michael is my angel.
Oh.
Yeah, that's not
what you did
clever
there.
at all.
I see what you did there.
And how say you, Conrad?
Listen, I love a pot of book water as much as the next guy. I love word soup.
Nah, word salad.
You know, here's the deal. I'm actually kind of mirroring your thought. John Travolta in Michael was like one of those popular dudes in 10 Things High School. When you're like, God, I really want to fucking hate you, but I just can't help but like you.
Yeah.
And so I would say that it was more fun, and I like that it was more whimsical, and Phenomenon was just super depressing.
Yeah, that third act hits you.
Yeah, that single Phenomenon losing Travolta so that he could become a Michelangelo.
Yeah. Oh. And then she went from having a guy in her life to having phenomenon. Well, you heard it here, folks. Michael is... I don't know why I keep forgetting. Michael is the winner. Wait, Michael is the winner, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Michael is the winner. Spread your wings and fly to the next blockbuster and pick up a copy today.
All right, first of all, he did not fly. Second of all...
No, I'm asking the lovely spectators to spread their wings and fly.
I'd like for you to spread your wings and fly on over to our inbox at battles@filmfightspodcast.com. Let us know what you thought of the episode. Let us know if there's a battle you want to see in the future. Just, tell us about your life, unless it's sad. Or whatever.
I mean, unless you don't, if it is sad, let us talk
Make it
about
funny.
it. We can punch up your sad life for a cost.
Hopefully you're already, but if not, join us over on social media on Instagram and Facebook. Film Fights Podcast is us. Is the name of we.
It would be quite a phenomenon to get that follow.
It would be phenomenal.
It would be phenomenally easy to do so.
So be our angel. Have we done that enough? Do we need to keep saying like angel jokes?
Well, you can never have too many angel jokes. I think it was the great Michael who said...
All right, everybody, welcome to Smosh. Today we're doing opposite day hard mode. So make sure you smash that. I mean, make sure we don't.
No, you have to it would take an hour to say every sentence because you would have to go. You first have to say, okay, make sure to smash that like button. Okay. Okay. Undo. Lying.
Uncertainty.
Uncertainty. Away. Away from gentle. Hate. Solid object.
I can't believe we don't have more viewers.
Even the crickets hate us. I mean, what's an opposite of a cricket?
What is the opposite of a cricket?
It's the Sears Tower. That's the opposite of a cricket. Here we go.